Hello, my friends. Welcome to Home Education Point. We provide studies at home. So, in this video, we will learn about constraint. So, what is constraint? So, constraint are the rules. One second. Constraint are the rules that we can apply on the type of data in a table. That is, we can specify limit on the type of data that can be stored in particular column in table using constraint. The available constraints in the SQL are: first, not null. The not null, this constraint tell that we cannot store a null value in column. That is, if a column is specified in not null, then we will not able to store null in the particular column anymore. Okay. Second, unique. Also define the name. This constraint specify with a column tell that all the value in the column must be unique, means not duplicate. This is the value in any row of column must not be repeated, means duplicate. Primary key. A primary key is the field which can uniquely identify each row in table, and this constraint is used to specify a field in a table as primary key. Okay. Foreign key. A foreign key is field which can uniquely identify each row in another table, and this constraint is used to specify a field as a foreign key. Check. This constraint help to validate the value of the column to meet a particular condition. That is, it helps to ensure that the value stored in the column meet a specified condition. Default. This constraint specify a default value for the column when no value is specified by the user. So now we will understand one by one all the constraint in broad. So first we will understand how to use constraint. So we can specify constraint at the time of creating the tables using create table statement. We can also use after creating table a using alter table statement. So we use the constraint for creating table and alter table. Syntax below is syntax to create constraint using create table statement at the time of creating the table. So first, command create table, then we will write table name, then we include column 1, data type, then size, data type, then constraint name. Example, column name, employee name. Okay. Data type, employee name, also character. So we will use varchar and char, anything. So now we will use constraint name. Constraint name, you know that there are many constraints. Okay. So if we use here not null, so this column not include null data. It means cannot store a null value in the column. If we use here unique constant, so it will not use duplicate data. If we use primary key constant, uniquely identify each data in the table. Okay, so simple table like name of the table to be created like employee name, data type, this is data type. So name of the type of data can be stored in the fields like data type varchar, integer, constant name, name of the constant like not null, unique, primary key. Let us see each of the constant in details. First, not null. If we specify a field in the table to be not null, I have also tell you, I have also told you that about not null. So, not null will never accept null value if we use not null constant. That is, you will not be allowed insert a new row in the table without specifying any value to the field. Okay. For example, the below query created student ID and name as not null. So create table, table name student, first column ID, then we will use integer uh, within 6 character, sorry 6 integer, and with constant type not null. So ID will not accept null value. Okay, name second column name. This is a character or text. So we will use varchar within 10 text. Okay, 10 characters, 10 letter, and we will use like not null. So this will also not accept null value. Then address also a character. So we will use varchar. Okay, next is unique. This constraint help to unique identify each row in the table. For a particular column, all the rows should have unique value. Okay, we can have more than one unique column in the table. Okay, for example, the below query create a table student. The field ID is specified as unique. No two student can have the same ID. Okay, I said that I said that I said that is not unique will not accept a duplicate ID. Like create table, table name student. We will first column we will use in first column ID, then integer 6 digit, and constant type not null, unique. Okay, okay, uh, okay. So name varchar 10, address varchar. Then third, primary key. Primary key is the field which can uniquely identify each row in the table. If a field in a table as primary key, then the field will not be able to contain null value, as well as all the row should have unique value for the field. So we can say that this is the combination of unique and not null. Okay, so all row should have unique value for the field. So in other words, we can say that this is combination of not null or unique constant. A table can have only one field as primary key. Below query will create a table name student as specified. So we will create table, table name student, ID integer not null unique. So name varchar, address varchar, then we will write primary key. Okay, our primary key is a ID, ID. Okay, so Foreign key next. Foreign key is a field, a table which uniquely identify each row of another table, not same table. This is for another table. That is, this field point to primary key of another table. Okay, this usually create a kind of link between the table. Okay, consider the two tables. So you can see here. First, order ID, है ना? Okay, first order ID, second order number, then order customer ID. Okay, so order ID 1 2 3, order number 2 2 this, and order customer ID this. Okay, and next table is customer. First table is order table, next table is another table is customer. So you can see that customer ID here is 1 2 3. You can see here customer ID 3321. Okay, so here are the same, they both columns. Okay, as we can see clearly, the field CID in order table is primary key in customer table that uniquely identify each row in the customer table. Therefore, it's foreign key in the order table. Okay, so we will generate with foreign key. So order ID int not null, then order number int not null, CID integer primary key OID. Okay, and foreign key CID reference to customer CID. Okay, check. Using the check constant, we can specify a condition for a field which should be satisfied at the time of entering value for this field. For example, the below query create a table student, a specify condition for the field age greater than or equal 18, equal than 18. This is the user will not be allowed to enter any record in the table with age less than 18. So we will create table with the student name, with a column ID integer not null, name varchar not null, age int not null. Check age greater than 18 or equal. Default. Default constant is used to provide a default value for the field. This is if at the time of entering new record in the table, if user does not specify any value for these fields, then the default value will be assigned to them. For example, the below query will create a table name student and specify default value for field age as 18. So create table student ID integer not null, name varchar not null, age integer default 18. If the person not enter the data in cell, then automatic data will enter 18 in the table. So these are the constraints. I hope you have been you have understand all the data. So I hope you will subscribe my channel and also comment on the comment on the video. So please, I request you to please support us. We will provide a new video time to time. Okay, thank you.